G'day, it's Wednesday morning. Starting off nice and early, getting some gas for the car over here, and some coffee for me and Connor. He's wandering over and he'll be here in a minute. Heading off to work now and see what the day holds in store for us. Right, we've just wandered down, me and Danny here. I guess she might have run out of milk again, or maybe she had to go get a kebab, Danny.
It's already been 4.5 minutes, so in theory.
Well, yeah. Well, how do you know?
It's probably just crossing the road.
Oh, she might be moving your car.
Oh, sweet. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Hey, Jetta, there's another person here who wants coffee. Yeah.
Hello.
Just one today.
Just one. Not at night.
I told her to voice as usual, and she saw that she gets home and
You came back.
Okay. Oh, vlogging.
That's good.
Vlog something like both sugar, but one is in latte and one is flat white. oh, cool. Thank you. All good.
See you.
there.
Hey, how's it going? So, after working part way through today, I decided I wasn't feeling so well, so I came home and I finished working from home and I've had a bit of a nap, and then I got up and started reading through comments and stuff in the vlogs and some messages and things I had on Facebook, on Twitter, and I found a couple of them that said, hey, don't you drink just a bit too much coffee? Now, if you've been watching some of my videos, you'll see that I do tend to head out to coffee at least a couple of times in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon, and hey, I'll have one when I get home. And so this question about do I drink too much coffee, I found kind of fascinating. So I thought I'd go do some digging around on Google and Wikipedia and various nutritional science sites and things like that, and see if I could define what is too much coffee. What I came up with was quite fascinating. A couple of basics about coffee. Coffee, as you know, or should know these days, is the seed of a berry from the coffee plant. And the coffee plant is originally from Madagascar, the tropical areas of Africa, and a few islands around the Madagascar area. From there, it sort of travelled north and been traded up through India and right down through South America, and all around the world, basically, people are growing coffee now. And it's one of the largest traded commodities in the world, and it has been for a long time. The first time people drank coffee was around about 600 years ago, when a group of bright sparks thought, hey, we're hungry, well, let's just roast these beans up, see what happens, crush them, boil in water and drink it. Turns out it was a bloody good idea, and people have been doing it ever since. Now, this first happened in either Yemen or Ethiopia, sort of in that area around there, there's always been a bit of contention about where was first for this thing. It really doesn't matter. The important thing is that it's been about 600 years since people started drinking coffee, and there's been sort of rumours and hearsay and conjecture about the pros and cons of coffee for a long time, but it's only really in the last few years that some really interesting medical research and nutritional research has been done that's sort of supported some theories, but interestingly debunked some others, and completely turned some ideas and theories about coffee entirely on their heads. So basically there are two reasons we drink coffee. One, we like the flavour of it, and two, we're after the caffeine. Let's face it, most of us would just take a bloody IV line if we could get it in the morning at work. But there's quite a bit more about coffee and the reasons for that we should be drinking coffee. As you know, coffee contains caffeine. And caffeine is what we call a psychoactive stimulant. What this means is that it changes the mood of the drinker, as well as changing some of the body chemistry and the rate that the body functions. It makes everything run just a little bit quicker. But it also has some effect on mood, so it does make you feel happier and juices you up a little bit that way. So caffeine doesn't actually pump you up like a lot of stimulants does. It just inhibits this receptor that makes you feel drowsy during the course of the day. The actual stimulant effects on people do vary quite dramatically between person to person. Some people has an incredible effect on, and they'll keep them wired for days. Other people, caffeine seems to have absolutely no effect on whatsoever. And a large part of that's just got to do with individual people's biochemistry. So here's some of the fascinating benefits I've found today. The first one of these is that coffee drinkers tend to live longer than non-coffee drinkers. Now, they're not entirely sure by how much, though, but there is definite proof that people who do drink coffee tend to live longer than people who don't drink coffee. Another one was that people who drink 3 to 4 cups of coffee a day have a much lower chance of having cardiovascular disease. Now, this is completely contradicting something that people used to believe 5, 10, 20 years ago. I'm not going to go into details. You can go and read about that. One of the benefits of drinking coffee that fascinates me on a personal level is that it appears to have quite a beneficial effect in relation to serotonin deficiency problems such as depression and anxiety. For some reason, the psychoactive stimulant part of behaviour of the coffee and the caffeine seems to be able to increase and improve people's moods and basically just give people a bit of a lift out of that sort of problem. There's a lot of research going on, and they haven't got any definite proof about why that works or how that works, but there does seem to be some correlation in there. And one of the best things that I've read today about drinking coffee is that the more coffee you drink, the more it decreases the chances of you developing type 2 diabetes. One thing I've been reading says that every cup of coffee you drink a day reduces your chance of developing type 2 diabetes by 9%. With decaf, it's about 6% per cup. If you're worried about developing diabetes, and I just say drink more bloody coffee. What can possibly go wrong? Downsides of drinking coffee: if you're somebody that suffers from heart palpitations or arrhythmia, drinking coffee and the caffeine can cause more problems with that. Drinking decaf coffee can still give you a lot of the benefits without the caffeine causing those sorts of problems. So while a lot of coffee people sort of scoff at decaf, there are still some benefits to the coffee without the caffeine. And there's a lot of decafs out there now that are actually bloody good, and I would really challenge people to be able to tell the difference in a blind test unless they drank 10 cups and get a buzz off it. So basically, as a summary to all of that, I'd have to say no, I'm not drinking too much coffee. In fact, I'm probably not drinking enough coffee, to be completely honest. One of the things that I've read that is definitely of interest to me is that drinking a bit more coffee is going to increase your metabolism and help you lose weight. So I've got another 15 key I want to drop, so that's definitely going to help me with that one. Anyway, I'm going to bugger off now. I'm going to go make myself a cup of coffee and sit down and edit this and publish it out for you guys so that you can subscribe to it. Click the like buttons and go see this video and that video and all of these things and whatever when I put them up on the screen. and give me a like, leave me comments, subscribe, get all your friends to subscribe, and get them to get their friends to subscribe. You know how this thing goes, and awesome, and I'll see you tomorrow.